It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. It's the end. It's the end of the road for Marcus Rashford and Manchester United. Man, when you listen to that song, damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things that we've been through. That I'll be standing here right now talking to you about another past. I know we love to hit the road and laugh. Hey, yo, it feels real familiar, bro. Real familiar. It's the end of the road for Marcus Rashford and Manchester United. It's the end. The Carrington boy, Marcus Rashford, man. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I didn't think that this time will come by 27 years old, where you look at the situation, you think to yourself, you know what? It's not because he's getting a move to Real Madrid and finally he's so good that he's gone beyond the club. It's not that Barcelona have come tapping. It's really because the marriage has to end. Pretty crazy. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you can stay up to date with this content. Let's get 20k by the end of the year. But guys, man, here we are. Let's get into this, man. Marcus Rashford wants to leave the club. It seems like with his comments, Manchester United want to get rid of Marcus Rashford. It seems like through what's been coming out in the last couple of weeks. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, what's the word I can say? I feel like it's the right time. I feel like this should happen. I feel like Manchester United need to move on from Rashford and Rashford needs to move on from Man United. I think it's becoming a toxic relationship where, listen, we've all had partners, you've all been with somebody and you think, no, I'm just going to make it work. No, no, no. You know, if I change my behavior in this way, she's going to like it or he's going to like it. Or if I, but really and truly, the foundations of what you guys had is broken. So you can change everything at the top. You can change certain behavior, but the foundation which you build upon, the foundation on which you become a rock solid relationship, it breaks. And once it's broken, it's irreparable. And that's what it feels like with Rashford and Man United. And it's the question is, why? Why is that the case? Why did it get to this way? And I've spoken before in the past about Rashford and Man United. And what I've said is that I think I'll speak on the Man United side first. I think both parties have a lot to blame. Both have a lot to blame. But I'll start on Manchester United. I think Manchester United, what they did in terms of the handling of Marcus Rashford's career, I don't think has been the greatest. You look back at when he was with LVG, you look back at when he was Jose. He went for a tough period with Jose. LVG was a good period for him, of course. And then he got to Oli. And with Oli put his arm around him. Jose didn't really feel him. But he put his arm around him and said, you're going to be the guy. You're going to be a figurehead of this football club. Carrington, boy, you've got the ability, you've got the potential. And Rashford took that and started playing well. You know, Rashford went, let me see how many goals he got. With that kind of love that he received from Oli, ex-Manchester United player, somebody that he would have known about growing up, heard about if he didn't get to catch his prime. And from those seasons, first season, he scored 10 league goals, 13 goals in all comps. Then he scored 22, then he scored 21. So he really started to kind of find his way when it was with Oli. But while he was playing for Oli, he was playing on injuries. Oli will continue selecting him. He was playing on injuries. He felt the responsibility to carry the club. And I think, if you're talking about him physically, that period under Oli broke him. He had a back injury that should have healed. He had an ankle injury that he should have healed, and he continued playing. And I think that, in terms of his physicality, took a lot out of him. Marcus Rashford used to be rapid, gone, a bullet. Now, when you look at him running a little bit, it's a bit like you used to be fast. Like, oh, you got a pace, but you used to be fast. You know them guys that You have friends that were rapid, but then they stopped training, they stopped playing football, and then they'll still run. Oh, I'll beat you in a race, and they probably would. But it's like, nah, I remember you back in the day. You were quick, and it kind of feels like that with Marcus Rashford. Physically, I think his body took a lot. And then when you look at when Ollie got sacked and he had that season, well, which was part of that season leading up to it, to Ollie's sacking, under when then Van Rannick, took over. Horrible season, delivered 5 goals. 5 goal season, and everyone started talking about, oh, it's because of off the pitch and his girlfriend, and he's lost his girl and he's sad. And but that Rashford that used to never really said Rashford, someone that plays with a smile on his face, but that Rashford that kind of had this kind of beaming love, and it just felt that he loved the club. It started to witter away a little bit, wilter away. You started seeing a sulky Rashford. You started seeing a depressed looking Rashford. Off the pitch started to feel like it was getting interfering with on the pitch. So then he had that season. Ralph Rangnick actually from that season said that Rashford needs to be one of the people that goes. That was in 2021-22, people. That Ralph Rangnick said that he should be one of the people that go. And everyone thought he's crazy because the next season, Rashford goes insane. He has that, you can call it a purple patch moment, but that November, is it, to February, March, he was unstoppable. One of the most unstoppable, inevitable players in the world. 30 goals that season. He went absolutely insane. The whole campaign, everybody knows what Rashford was doing. The whole world was doing that. It just shows the marketability of him. It shows the marketability of Manchester United. The whole world was doing this. But then after that, you're thinking, kick on, Rash. This is your time to become a consistent player for this club. Regardless of what's going through, we want to look at it and be like, you know what? I feel sorry for Marcus Rashford having to play with these guys. But what happened? He just sunk. The next season, Rashford last season scored 8 goals. 8 goals. So I've just said he scored 5, 30, and 8. That type of consistency, when you've signed a big money contract that he's got, we've heard the wages that he's on, 300k plus, whatever it is. You can't be that inconsistent. That's the inconsistencies of a Nani. That's the inconsistencies of an Antonio Valencia, all right? But with that amount of money and that amount of kind of expectation on you, you cannot be dropping off like how Marcus Rashford has been dropping off. And this season, yes, he's got 7 goals, and last season he scored 8, so you'll probably think he's having a much better season. But if you watch the games, if you watch Marcus Rashford, I can name on one hand how many performances he's actually had that's good in the last couple of years. So if you're looking at it, 3 of the last 4 seasons for Marcus Rashford could be pretty poor ones. And I think that's just a indictment. It's a damning indictment on himself. But also when you look at Manchester United, the way you handle Carrington graduates, I think Marcus Rashford has to be case in point for any future graduate. Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, whoever's coming through, he has to be case in point on how not to handle young players. Give him the keys to the club when he's very young. Give him the keys to the club where did he really deserve to have that? Maybe not. Was he ready for that? Maybe not. Give him a bumper contract. Give him the wages. Make him the face of the club. Give him 10. Give him everything for it to come out this way. I think Manchester United play him every single minute. Ten Hag started doing that with Kobe Mainu last season. Kobe Mainu's body already kind of reacted to that. And Ruben Amorim came in and said, listen, we need to handle young players differently to how we have before. And that's spot on. Rashford should be the example. Whether you like him or not, Rashford has done good things for this club, but he's also let himself down as well. But in that handling, the way that Man United handled him, giving him the keys to this club, handing him everything over, was he ready for that? Should he have had that? I don't know. And I've had an up and down relationship in terms of my thoughts on Marcus Rashford. I've never really thought that he's this special, supreme talent, but I've really liked him. I don't have any dislike to him now, but I really liked him because you felt like when he plays, he at least loves this club. He's playing for the badge. But that has gone. And let's just be honest, that has gone. His happiness at the club has gone. And it actually starts to feel like a burden. It looks like it's a burden playing for this club. And I actually said we should have sold him in the summer. I thought we should have sold him in the summer. Yeah, there was conversation with PSG, etc. But I think he should have left in the summer. It shouldn't have got to this stage. But now when you're looking at it, right, there's a lot of talk about Rashford off the field in terms of going out, in terms of being at this place or being at that place. I'm sure you guys see it all on the internet. You can't do that as a professional footballer. As much as we want to be like, oh, why can't you? You cannot. To be at your optimum, to be at your prime, to be at your peak, you've got to be locked in. Now, we're not saying footballers can't go enjoy themselves. If you've got a break, go to a basketball game, whatever. But when you're doing something that's affecting you on the football pitch or affecting your professionalism or affecting your training levels, you can't do that. The same way in a 9-to-5 job, you can't mess up you can't be doing anything out of there then when you come in to try and do your assignments, or when you have to hand in an assignment, or you have to rent a house, you're walking into your viewing a little bit hungover, a little bit tired because you were up at 4 a.m. Your manager will sack you. It's the reality. And Manchester United need to raise their standards. Far too long, Man United have allowed things to slide. I'm not going to talk about everything that I know, but far too much United have let things behind the scenes slide at this club. Going back to Oli era, going back to Jose era with the leaks. Too many things are sliding. If Man United want a real culture shift, you've got to make big decisions. And unfortunately, it lands at the feet of Marcus Rashford. It's been a long time coming. I think a lot of people have felt that this is going to come. It is time for Rashford to leave the club. I don't think performance-wise, he's doing anything great. And off the pitch, there's a lot of talks about what's going on. I hope wherever he goes, he's a success. I think he's probably going to try and leave the Premier League, and I think that'll be the best for him. But now when you looking forward, after putting out a statement like this, the timing of it, it kind of feels like they were like, well, we're going to control our narrative. We're not letting you lot control our narrative. We're going to say we want to leave. Not you guys kick us out. So where does that leave Ruben Amorim now? Does he select him for Spurs? 5 months to go, by the way, people. 5 months. Statements like that. Is there a situation where Rashford might even go out on loan and get sold in the summer? Loan in January? Because it's I don't see how after a statement like that, you could just be patch it up. All right, lads, we got 5 months to go. I just said I'm ready for a new challenge. Let's play ball. I don't see that situation happening. So for me, we actually are going to see, and Amorim's next conference is going to be interesting. Is Marcus Rashford going to be in the squad? Is Marcus Rashford going to be an important factor going forward for the rest of the season? Don't be surprised to see him not in matchday squads. Don't be surprised not to see him on the bench. Man United now have to plan their life without Marcus Rashford. Big decisions have to be made at big clubs if you want to change the culture, if you want to change your fortune. And unfortunately, this Rashford era, I'm not saying it's necessarily his fault, has really and truly been a failure at Man United. And Ineos are here to make these decisions. Ineos are here to change the culture. We've seen it. Aubameyang, he came. Lacazette, he had to get rid of. I remember Klopp came in, he had to get rid of Sakos. And you have to come in and make big decisions. And Marcus Rashford is one of them. And the cynics and people will probably say, oh, it's because he's the highest earner. Well, if you're earning that type of money, you expect certain type of production. You expect certain type of performance. You expect certain type of behavior. So this is the side where I'm in agreement with United. I gave why I think Man United have failed Marcus Rashford, but Rashford has also failed Manchester United. And I think, as I said, it's just time for it to end. Now, hopefully people remember him in a good way. You know what I mean? 138 goals for the club. Some big ones. Big Six bully. BGB, I used to say. Big game bully. He used to turn up. Then top 6 games against City, against Arsenal, against Liverpool, he would turn up. But now, as I said, we have these kind of feelings where like, oh, we've got Rashford, so he's going to do it. And then each game you're like, oh, you start to realize, oh, this isn't the Rashford that it used to be. This isn't the Rashford. You know? And I'm looking at him the same way I'm looking at Raheem Sterling. Like when it started to go left for Raheem Sterling at Man City, and they looked at it like, we're going to have to get rid of this guy. They got rid of him and they don't regret it. Whether you can talk about Man City now, they don't regret letting go of Raheem Sterling. Physically, he started declining. He started reaching a little bit of a weird position with the club. The fans were kind of indifferent with him. moved on to Chelsea, nothing kicked off. He's at Arsenal, not getting no minutes. I don't know where he's going to end up now. And I'm looking at Rashford. Yes, he's only 27, but I'm looking at it like this is meant to be when you're at your best. An attacker's prime, they say, is around 27, and this is when he's at his worst. So yes, he might be able to go and re-spark his career somewhere. You'd hope for his sake, but I just don't know how. When I look at it, I just don't know where that's going to be. I see a lot of people saying that maybe he should go to Arsenal. Arsenal love to do the captain save-a-ho thing. They love to do that. It is Zinchenko, Jesus, Havertz, Sterling, Jorginho, everybody. Yeah, they want Rashford. Fair enough. In a year, they'll be saying we need a new left winger. I think Rashford should go abroad. I think he should go abroad. I'm seeing stuff like his options might be MLS and Saudi, which is crazy. I think he's going to have to humble himself with the wages. He will have to speak to the club, whatever club he's going to, and say, hey, I'm going to take a big pay cut. Kind of like Jadon Sancho. But I wish him luck, man. I wish him luck. You know, it's not the end of his career. He can still do something in his career, 100%. So I'm looking forward to seeing what his next move is. Of course, we'll continue speaking about this Marcus Rashford situation. It is fresh. It's a sad situation to see a Carrington boy end this way. But as I said, I think it's the right thing to do. Inside Scoop tomorrow. You guys make sure you check that out. Make sure you hit the likes, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on. Man, just 2 years ago, we were all doing this. Now we're doing this. It's crazy, man. Listen, guys, you know what to do. It's CultureCams. I'm out. Peace.